Fight on, family. Preston's Paradise is here, joined by my guy, Paulie Walnuts, man. Pregames with Paulie and Preston is here. And we're here, man. Week 3, first Big Ten opponent, first road game of the season, man. How you feeling, Paulie, man? How your emotions going into today?
First of all, good morning, everyone. Get those potatoes and eggs ready, man, and come enjoy this ride with us this morning. So many storylines that we can capitalize on this week. You got, Odom and Mayava, coach versus former player. That's happening today. You have, Pavia going playing South Carolina. You have Napier, whose job's on the line. You have him. You have Fickle. Could Fickle possibly prove us wrong, Preston, and come out 3-0 against Alabama and send the board packing? Who knows? We'll see today. It's an action-packed Saturday, folks. And then don't even get me started on boxing. We can talk about that later on calling the shots. But we'll definitely. There's an action-packed college football Sunday. But let's get to it, man. I'm ready.
Yeah, for sure, man. If you guys are watching the video on Twitter, Facebook, any other platforms, be sure to follow us. You can follow me on Twitter at Fight on Preston, on YouTube at Preston's Paradise. You can follow my man Paulie at
Calling the Shots podcast with Paulie Walnuts on YouTube. Make sure to give me some love, man, and hit that subscribe button. Everything is greatly appreciated. And look out for me, man. I got some stuff coming out here. So I had some technical difficulty, but Preston's helping me out with it, and we should be good to go.
Yes, sir, man. Give my man a follow, give my man a subscription. It's all free, man. Subscribe us, work hard on this show. So let's talk some USC football, man. We're gonna start with USC today. We're gonna get into a lot of very interesting and fun things. But USC in week 2, come out, got Georgia Southern in the Coliseum against Clay Helton. Offense looked very good, right? I think that was definitely a bright spot of last week. Did see a couple concerns on the left side of the offensive line. I felt like I saw some guys, kind of lose some leverage at points. A little bit of the bending of the arms, letting defenders get into their chests and whatnot. Hopefully we can clean that up today. It's got to be cleaned up, or we will definitely deal with some struggles on the road against Purdue. But, right, love what I saw from the offense. Thought Mayava was pretty sharp. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'll ask you the question. I'll ask people in the chat this question. I think we clearly have the greatest wide receiver duo in the country, not even just the Big Ten. I don't think it's close, right? Do you think any other duo at wide receiver is close to what we got and eliminate right now with USC?
No, it's the alpha. I've been saying this since last year. The alpha and the omega, folks. Just straight fire and power, man. These guys are just on another level when it comes to a duo. And I'm telling you, it's something special. We saw Jacoby unleash a little bit of it. I obviously would like to see more consistency from him, but you know what? We're starting to get in the heart, the really cushy part of the schedule now. We got some Big Ten people coming up, and you know what? I can't wait to see those guys just really, really put it out there and show America what they're all about.
No doubt, man. Those guys combined, first 2 games, 17 catches, 372 yards, 3 touchdowns. Probably should be 4 touchdowns, but just in the first 2 games. Wayman Jordan, man. Love what I saw from him, right? I think he's gonna be the primary back. Especially as we get into conference play, gonna be kind of like getting the most of that workload in the backfield. Unfortunate, had the fumble. Yeah. Hopefully we don't see that recur. Hopefully that was just a minor setback and it's not a habit. But we got another kid who I didn't speak with not one word about in the offseason, and King Miller, bro. That is averaging 19.3 yards a carry with 2 touchdowns. And I'm very interested to see if he gets in there and the type of carries and opportunities that he's going to be able to get as we get into conference play, man. Like, I know you're high on this kid. Doesn't have a scholarship yet. It's got to be coming around the bends very, very soon. But,
Preston, it's the ability, his ability to hit the hole at the speed that he hits it at. But you know what I'm noticing with that running back room that we have right now? And good morning, baby. My daughter's on here. So anyway, what I'm noticing is that it's like we're wearing them out. We're gassing these guys out with Wayman and Eli, and then we're bringing in now. You got Dalton, who has that potential. Him and King both came in, and maybe they're the ones that can. And now Jackson's I don't know if he's injured or not, but with those 3 pounding those lines, telling you, when times get tough, man, passing game isn't working. We can always depend on these guys, and that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, interesting to see what's up with B-Jack. Not confirmed. If I didn't watch the post practice stuff yesterday, I don't know if not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. I know he was in pads. He was practicing in full pads. And I heard that he is good to go, but I don't know if he's gonna make the trip. We'll see about that. But nonetheless, man, we got the horses in the stable this week, and if he's not there, I still feel confident about this rushing attack that we're bringing to the table in Purdue. But couple concerns, couple negatives from last week, right? Very interesting, right? I'm sitting back, I'm watching the game, and Georgia Southern was able to kind of run the ball short yardage against us. So that is something I didn't expect. You know, you're adding a bunch of new weight, a bunch of new players to. That's really the one of the biggest issues from last season. You thought you kind of addressed that concern with bringing in a Keyshawn Silver, a Josh Jerry, obviously Kobe Pepe, just adding a lot of size that even like the younger players on this team bring to the interior of the defensive line. And at moments, we were not able to stop them in short yardage situations, running right up the gut, right up the middle. And that's not really a big scheme thing. That's just more effort, a discipline thing, you know, when it comes to that. So I pray that we get that cleaned up, God willing. I think they will. And the edges have been performing very good. I see the maturation, these guys, the pass rush techniques, the ability to get to the quarterback, leading the conference in sacks. But I think we got a little sack happy and got upfield a little bit too much. And that could be scary when you're dealing with a mobile quarterback like we have this week and Brown at Purdue. So as well as, you know, some communication issues in the secondary, man. So what are your thoughts on some of those things that occurred last week?
You know what? I noticed it right away. The first thing is that it's very rare that you go up against a 5'7" bowling ball like that. And in a way, that's actually, I was really happy that we got that out of the way. And we got some good on-field practice with how to defend a player like that, because eventually down the line, I think there's some backs that are equivalent in size like that. Those smaller guys are really hard to tackle and bring down. Once they hit that hole, man, it's so difficult for these big guys to just kind of wrap around them. But I noticed that was a lot. They were having a little trouble with that. And so I'm glad we got that out of the way. But I'm not really too concerned about it right now. I think what we're trying to do as a team, we're trying to find that chemistry. You know, what wave of players works well together, and also, you know, with the, you know, also two cornerbacks as well. We had some there was some miscommunication there between 19 and 2, I believe, you know, back in that area there. But, you know, they're going to clean these things up. That's the difference between last year and this year, is we have leaders, man, like Nicholson, and we have guys out there that are willing to help these guys out. We have the coaching staff that's going to help these guys clean up some of those things that we view as errors, when really it's just maybe just something minor that we can do. Oh, my son's on here too. I love you, Mio. Anyway, so that's kind of what I look at it when it comes to that. But was it anything that really frightened me? No, nothing at all. I think it's something that we can clean up immediately.
Yeah, and I think it's like there has to be a bit of perspective here, right?
Yeah.
Like you mentioned 19. A lot of the players that I kind of mentioned as well were not on this defense last year. So This is the first couple of games of them, you know, in the Dan Lynn scheme. It's I don't want to say it's complex or complicated. It looks more complex. That's kind of how he wants to make things look, right? He wants to make things look a little bit more complicated to the offense than they really are. But at the same time, it's a new scheme, new alignment, new assignments, and way about going about things. So definitely first 2 weeks, I thought, and I know you feel away too, when you look at all of college football, the mental mistakes, the discipline errors that we saw, we were looking pretty good after week 1. I think in week 2, you saw a lot of us, you know, deal with stuff like that. So yeah, man, that we'll see what happens in regards to that. And let's talk about the lunch pail players, you know, some guys that did perform well. And
I love this.
Got after it.
I love it.
Week against Georgia Southern, man. I'll start with a couple guys. I gotta go with my guy Jacoby Lane, man. I just thought from him, just dynamic. You know, my favorite offensive player on this team. You know, showed his ability to go up and, you know, boss a guy with one hand, which we've seen that before from Jacoby. But I think something that kind of gets he doesn't get a lot of credit for are those passes that he catches in the middle of the field with defenders draped over him, and he's done a great job of kind of creating the ability or working on the ability of getting yards after catch, yards after contact, using his size and his length to catch and then go. And he had a catch like that as well. So that was good to see from Jacoby. I think, the sky's the limit for him. He's going to continue to build on his draft stock. And we'll see where it's at the end of the year. Maybe he wants to come back. That'd be a blessing. Inshallah. That'd be fantastic. But Justin Taunu at the right tackle position had the decleater where he comes off, gets in front of the offense, completely destroys the kid, launches him, at the second level. And I really thought the right side of that line, particularly him at the right tackle position, did a very good job last week. So man, those are my lunch pills for last week, man. I'll let you get into yours.
Going back to Jacoby though. Oh, look at there it is, folks. Get the thermos out, man, with the hot noodles in it right now.
This is like a Big Ten. This is like a Big Ten trophy right here for real.
Yeah. Oh man, my grandpa used to have those with the hot ramen in it with the 1,500 milligrams of sodium. They didn't care, guys. They just ate it, man. That's why we call it lunch pail, guys. Anyway, so anyway, you think it, man. One thing I really want to get to when it comes to Jacoby, though, and a lot of people don't ever talk about this, is they really underestimate his physicality. If you notice, Preston, the way he just manhandles some of those guys, even with his left arm, he's just tossing guys around. But that ability, those Randy Moss hands that he has, and I just don't think people really have embraced it yet. But they're gonna see come this Big Ten season. He's just I've never seen such a nightmare when it comes to matching up someone with him, man. It's like it's just wow. And then you see those big giraffe legs when he's in the open field, man. He's trying to jump over guys. I mean, it gets me fired up.
4X gloves. 4X gloves.
And those big mitts, man. Can you imagine getting smacked in the face? I'd be knocked out.
I know, bro.
Yeah, seriously. But anyway, going to mind the running back room, the entire running back room. And it's just they're coming in waves. They look like we have a game plan when it comes to these running backs. We're hitting them with the lightning, man. These guys are just coming at with Eli with the speed and Wayman with the shiftiness and the speed as well, and really wearing out these two teams that we played. And then we come with the guys that are just breaking it with the big runs, like good old Mr. King over there, man. And King Miller, he's doing a great job there. And now you have Dalton in the mix as well. You can't deny some of these young guys. This is what I love about the competition that we have there. They're fighting for playing time and they're earning it, man. They're out there every time they're out in the field. They're making something happen. Micah Banuelos, this is the type of player that you want on your team. No matter who you are, where you are, this guy, he never complains about anything. Not once have we ever heard him say anything negative, complaining about his playing time, or maybe, hey, I'm the one that should be starting, not this guy. He just comes out and he does what he's supposed to do. Comes from a great family, man. His father's so supportive. It's such a great guy. And it shows. It just shows because his attitude and his will to just get out there and make things happen. And I'm really proud of him. That's one player I can tell you right now that I'm proud of. It's him and also my boy Marquise Gallegos. I got to throw that out there too. But we're really proud of you, man. We really are. Keep it up, man, and keep fighting on, bro. I love it. And then DeCarlos. DeCarlos is that guy. Another one. How can you deny this kid, man? He's such a great story. He's a father. He's not only a young, talented individual, but he's just a good father, a good, well, they're not, I don't think they're married yet, but he's just an all around really responsible, mature young man. And it shows on the field. And we're going to need him come later on this season. I liked after, when the young guys were making mistakes, I see on the sidelines, they're talking to the young guys. And that's what a leader is. And he's really leaps and bounds. He's really improved. So that's my Lunch Pail award, guys, for the week right there.
Yeah. And you talk about Micah, you talk about DeCarlos, like just dudes that have been through adversity, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Been through it, bro. DeCarlos is obviously a little older, transferring over, but a guy that, kind of walked out the door last offseason, came back. And it was great to see him capitalize on that. We saw him get his first interception. Has amazing tools that NFL teams and everybody wants in the modern corners, right? Being 6'3" with that wingspan. And I think he's looked very good this season. He looks very controlled. He looked great in the offseason as well. Saw him make a lot of plays in the spring, and seems to have taken on a bit of that leadership role on this team last year, right? He went through the mud, that this team went through last year. So this is what I'm banking on with a lot of these guys like DeCarlos, like Jacoby. A lot of these guys still left in this roster, bro, that they're remembering what went down last year and how close they were to being a 9-3 team. But, you end up, seeing the opposite of that, but very close, man. And hopefully that can continue on this upcoming football season, man, just that maturation. But let's get into something, right? USC going on the road. The road has been a scary place for us, right? It's
yeah. What is it
and
like?
Not even, I mean, this has really been the story before Lincoln even really got here. Struggled to compete in a lot of these games in the Eastern time zone and the Central time zone. And here's a scary stat, man. USC football. 0-14 in its last 14 games in the Eastern and Central time zone. And here's what I gotta say about that, man. People that are watching the show, they can, kind of look at the screen and go through that. I'm not gonna really focus on that. But what I will say is I'll take a positive approach to this, right? There's no reason that this doesn't end today. I think it will 100% end today. USC has a wealth of knowledge from people that have traveled from the East to the West, from the NFL, college football programs. They've had a year doing it. They got that taste last year. And I think, to be honest with you, all the former Pac-10 teams are going to be a little bit better on the road last year. I mean, I just think you see that happening, right? Like, how does not 1 year of experience, 1 year going through it make you better? Learn the processes and the tips and, the schedule that you need to put together to be successful on the road when traveling cross country. New plane, new people are talking new sleep requirements, lavender, they're practicing it all day during the off season. Having it works, it's great. But at the end of the day, man, I don't really care about leaving on Friday. I think it's fantastic. They got there yesterday around 5 something. We're gonna wake up today, go out there, kick ass. And do what you want to do, bro? We gonna cry about it that we got to fly across the country, or we're gonna get up and kick somebody's ass? You feel me?
Yeah, definitely.
I've been in these situations. I've been lollygagging early in games, bro. There's things you could do, right? You got smelling salts. Hey, get yourself some good, Cuban coffee. Some people I knew back in the day would be off the red line, Adderall. If you can, do it the legal way. Get after it, bro. Get after it. Use the motivation of everybody counting you out. Use the motivation of not being on these lists. Not being on these rankings. People maligning you. It's BS, bro. You use that motivation to get after it today, and I think these people are going to be prepared. I think the staff will be prepared, and the team will be prepared.
Yep, I feel you on that. There should be no reason why these guys don't have enough motivation, man, when they wake up in the morning and look in the mirror, to be disrespected the way they have by media outlets out there. Me, guys, honestly, I've I don't know how many years I've never seen such disrespect for a top tier program the way we have, the way that we turn things around. Yes, last year was last year, but we're not that same team anymore. If you're gonna see that we're a more disciplined team. We have more mature leaders on this team. We have depth. We have the coaching staff that's going to guide us. It's an away game. If we can't get in there and be motivated to risk roll Purdue, then you know what? It'll be one of the saddest moments of my life. But there's no doubt in my mind. I have a feeling this year there's going to be no messing around anyway. We're going to come in there and they're just going to roll it, man. We're going to run that ball down their throat. And I'm starting to get fired up right now. I really am. I'm telling you, man. I'm fired up. You know what? When my neighbor's mowing the lawn, I'm gonna go tackle him out there, man. That's how fired up I am right now, man.
You say get after it, bro. Like I'm off 2 cups of coffee right now, bro. Turn it up in the chat, man. Let's go, man.
I'm gonna go pull up my Luga on UCLA, man. That's how fired up I'm getting. You know what, man? I'm telling you, go in there, start rolling them, man. Run that ball down their throat. Have Jacoby just manhandle those corners, and let's go ahead and let's play some Trojan football. I'm tired of this, man. It's time for us to make a statement, and this is a statement game for the audacity of some of these media outlets that are going out there thinking that Purdue actually stands a chance against us. Man, what the heck, man? What's going on with that? So let's go in there and let's handle it, Preston.
They sleep. They on Z's, man. Just like Raul said in the chat, we covering the spread. Got the homie Anthony James in the chat, man. SC's locked in. Got Aldo Rodriguez in the chat. You'll be going after it, bro.
Man, look at this, man.
I keep saying it, bro. Like USC is
Aldo
going
got me
for it
fired up
all.
too.
They're
Yeah.
going for
Yeah.
it all. They're coming after everything this season, man. People call me crazy. People say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." We're gonna see. I've been waiting for this, bro. We're gonna see. I know Paulie's been waiting for it. We're going to see, bro. We're going to see in about 5. And I don't gotta wait till 7:30 p.m. Eastern today. The game is coming on for 3:30 Eastern for me, bro. This is fantastic. Like, it's gonna be a fantastic day.
Perfect.
Let's talk Purdue, bro.
Let's
Paulie
do
Walnuts in the building. Got Paulie Walnuts on his chest. Let's talk Purdue. So Purdue, man.
Okay.
Ryan Brown at quarterback, playing a pretty solid season right now. 4 touchdowns, 1 interceptions, 65% passing. But Maccabee is the guy, right? That's the guy that want to get the ball, the running back, 185 yards, 3 touchdowns. To be honest, bro, I'm not impressed by Maccabee. Like I don't know if you're impressed by Maccabee. I am not impressed by Maccabee. I watched the Southern Illinois game, watched the Ball State. There's nothing really special about this running back, in my personal opinion. I do think, like the guys outside, in Armand Branch, I like a guy, and the young kid that was a 4 or 5-star recruit, and a Nitro Tuggle. And then they got Michael Jackson, coming over from SC, and he's their second leading receiver. But it took Maccabee 32 carries to get 126 yards against Southern Illinois. 32 carries, bro.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that he's going to do that? Like, what is he really going to do against this USC front? But I don't see it happening. I think our defense is 5 times, at minimum 5 times better than that Southern Illinois defense. What do you make of Purdue on offense, on defense? On defense, I don't think they're special. I think the offensive line is kind of porous, in my opinion. What do you think? What do you make of Purdue?
The storyline, obviously, is our former offensive line coach, and then also Odom as well. He coached Mayava when Jaden was at UNLV. They're going to try everything they can to slow Jaden down. They're going to try to mix it up, confuse him on certain things. But you know what? You got a different Jaden this year. You don't got that skittish guy anymore. You have a real leader, man. You have a guy who's over there, man, on the sidelines, just, talking his guys up. When Wayman makes a mistake, you better believe Jaden was right there, man, showing that true leadership. I'm telling you what, it's a new Jaden. I don't care what they throw at him. We're going to make it happen there. And also the running game, we're going to be able to run that ball in them. They're a defensive-minded team. They're going to come out and they're going to try to play a lot. When it comes to skill players, skill positions, they really don't have a whole lot to offer. It's just a system that Odom tries to run. He's going to try to get physical with us, but he doesn't have the horses that we do, man. We got some thoroughbreds, dude, and we got some Clydesdales in there, man. Some big, fat Clydesdales are going to be able to run these guys over. I'm telling you right now, dude, this is not going to be whatever. This morning when I woke up, this one lady on, I forgot what, Fox 300 or whatever channel it was, she was over there talking about Purdue upsetting USC this week. I almost wanted to just break my TV, man. I couldn't believe I heard that. So anyway, when it comes to Purdue, they are what they are. They're Purdue. The last good thing that came out of there was Drew Brees and Glenn Robinson in basketball. Other than that, they haven't had a whole lot after that, man.
Man spoke nothing but facts. And I think the thing, right, is like this offseason, everybody, I think we kind of feel like we did last season. A lot of people were like, okay, this season, the defense is going to have to kind of lead this team. And, the offense is just going to be a defensive team. Defense, we're way better defensively this year. I look at the 2 games and I'm looking at this team. I'm like, bro, we're great on offense and good on defense, bro. Like we are great and good on both sides of the ball. And it's just different, bro. Like, I think we really take care of business today. In terms of USC coming out on the road, I know we got Henson on the other side, a bit of a spy, that was around the USC defense. I mean, the USC offense last season. But we got a guy who can on the other side, that's a scientist in Danton Lynn, bro, that is going to be able to sniff out anything Odom wants to do, anything Henson wants to do. Like, he's going to be able to sniff that out. And Lincoln Riley is light years ahead of Henson as far as the offensive game plan, in my personal opinion. So we're going to work that out. I'm not really worried about that.
Another thing too, Preston, that I was thinking about is hey, thank you, Mr. Anthony James.
Yeah, shouts out to Anthony James in the chat for the $4.99, man.
That's the first time that's ever happened since I've been on this show.
Yes, sir. That's the first donation we've had live, man.
Fight on, brother. Fight on. Anyway, so really quickly, man, getting back to it. I think another storyline that we really need to bring up too is the fact that these offensive linemen, they got something to prove too against their old coach. They want to show these guys, listen, I'm not saying that they dislike him or anything like that because I know they don't. But let me tell you, they want to show him, look at how much I've improved. Maybe, coach, you picked wrong when you sat me on the bench all year last year. Here I am, Mr. Macabanuelos. Let me show you what I'm all about and how much I've improved. There's guys like that. We got Justin over there as well. We got a lot of really good guys that I think are really anxious to get out there and show their improvement, especially in the run game as well.
Yeah, for sure. And when it comes to like the USC offense, USC's game plan in this game, right? It's going to come down to stopping the run. That's how they want to get going. So stopping the run, starting fast. I think we receive the ball if we can, and we get it going, man. Get that offense going. Get lathered up on the offensive line. Get the backs these carries and off to the races, bro. I think that's the way to start it. You want to start fast. You want to score early in the game, kind of neutralize, the fans, neutralize the environment. That's kind of the best way to go about that. And be disciplined, man, because Purdue is not a better team than USC. They're not the same ball. They in our universe, bro.
Yeah.
So we can only be ourselves in this game. Coaches, you can beat yourselves in this game too. So USC coaching staff, don't be cute, bro. Like, do what works, and if it's working, stick with it. Like, don't be, delusional, bro. Like, let's win the game and get back home. That's simple to me. Like,
it's simple. The environment's going to be, these people are obviously dedicated football fans, Purdue fans. They'll show up. They're going to be rooting for them. So the game, the one thing I really want, I want us to, like you said, I want us to come out, want us to bang them, put those big bodies on these guys and just start wearing them out and then start slowly just getting the crowd out of it. I don't want it to be something like Colorado was, where we kind of just let them back in that game like that. And then the crowd gets into it. I don't want any of that. Eliminate the crowd, start imposing our will on these guys and show them why we are USC. That's it. Let's go.
Exactly, man. Let's effing go. And I think, like, when you make that point of, like, when we do get the lead, to, handle that and kind of, not panic. It's the depth. I think that's when you're going to really see the depth come in, and you'll see the value of having that depth after you're able to get that lead on the road. And you just got to kind of finish, what I'm saying, and sustain to the end of the game. So as far as impact players go for today's game against Purdue, I got Wayman Jordan, man. I got Wayman Jordan on my impact players list. It's averaging 10 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. Excited to see how he kind of breaks out in conference play, bro. JUCO back, like, it was really a dog, man. It was silent that, we kind of got him, kind of picked him up in the offseason. But I knew he was going to be a hell of a player once he got here, and he's shown us that in the first couple games. Walker Lyons, I think the tight ends, I love them, man. Being more involved in the offense, 12 personnel, I think they're going to find many opportunities, especially because we got Jacoby, we got Makai. Those guys are going to get a lot of attention. And if we got 2 tight ends out there, man, those guys are going to get some opportunities to score some touchdowns and make some plays. So I see a tight end getting a touchdown or 2 today. I think Walker Lyons makes a big play today. And my guy, Braylon Shelby, man, had kind of a shaky week last week, but was milliseconds away from taking a dude's head off in last week's game as well. And I think, he's probably had a good week of practice. I think he's able to get to the quarterback out in West Lafayette today, man. So that's what I got.
I completely agree with you. Wayman's going to be really excited to show the Big Ten what he's about, that he is the number 1 back in the Big Ten. And it's wide open. That's the one thing I love about college football this season. You look at teams like Georgia Tech, South Florida. You just don't know who's going to come in and play well. And that's one thing I love that we have to our advantage, is that we got so many people just kind of toss us off the side, not really exist, but yet I can't wait till these players just start showing the world what they're all about. And Wayman's number 1. He's going to come out. Waymo's going to come out and really have a good game this year. Walker Lyons is due for a big one. He had a really good game last weekend, and I've always believed in him. You know that, Preston, since last year when he came on board, man. This guy's been one of my favorite players, and I really hope Walker has a big game. And Braylon, we all know what Braylon's capable of doing. But let's get to my guys, King Miller and Harry Dalton. The reason I have those guys, I obviously could pick the usual suspects. I could pick Makai, I could pick these guys, but I like to kind of just mix it up and highlight certain players that can contribute. I'm not going to say they're going to have 10 touchdowns or whatever, but they're going to contribute in some capacity. And the reason I picked King and the reason I picked Harry Dalton is because Eli and Wayman are doing such a great job of breaking these defenses down. And I haven't seen that type of stability and balance in a Trojan running game in a long, long time, folks. And the way they're really wearing these guys down with their speed and their shifty ability, and then to see King come in, and now Harry Dalton, you're going to get a taste of him. Everybody knows how I love Mr. Dalton out there, folks. Take a look, man, because eventually this guy's going to be the main guy one of these days because of that ability, the vision, the shit. You know, he can play with some power as well. But those two guys are going to come in at the end of the game. I think they might finish off this Purdue game when it's needed. They're going to come in and finish them off. But then Eric Gentry, to me, he made a statement when he played on the road against Michigan. That guy was a one-man wrecking machine in that game. And I think this is Eric coming out with all the doubt. I know it's kind of been bothering him that so many people have been talking trash about this team on the road. And I think Mr. Gentry is going to come out and show why he is a first-round draft pick and why he's our leader and why he's an All-American and why he does what he does. And him and Mr. Ramsey are going to team together well today, folks. Watch those two guys, those two All-Americans really show out today.
Yeah, man. Eric Gentry definitely deserves it. He's put in so much like blood, sweat, and tears to this program. You know, one of the longest tenured guys on the team, right?
Yeah.
We've seen him make plays wherever we were at, whether we were on the East Coast, West Coast, on the road, at home. And yeah, would not be surprised for him to make a bunch of big plays today and make a big impact. So that's really it, man. We're gonna, you know, give our score predictions when we get to our picks at the end of the show here about this. about
oh man, you know what? Give me a game. We'll get there.
I'm sorry, yo. It's so funny, bro. Like I don't know how we have some like type of telepathy or whatever. But regardless, yeah, we're gonna talk about that at the end of the day. We're gonna do our predictions.
Let's do it.
Let's get into a couple other subjects here, and something kind of controversial. You know, the AP poll voters. You know,
Lord,
talk about the polls and talk about variety of different things. And we're going to talk about this, man. We're going to talk about Haley Sawyer and AP voting. And, hey, there's a lot of negativity on the internet. I'm not here to attack this young woman. I'm not going to come at her personally. But I'm just going to say a couple things about, really what it means and the effort that I put into this show, the effort that I put into content about college football and about USC and my own self, even though I'm not an AP voter. Yeah. I'm not a member of the media. I'm just an average Joe in my room talking about USC and doing a live show with my buddy. So Haley Sawyer comes out because people kind of found her votes and it was like, oh, you put Florida ahead of USF, but USF beat Florida. And, she kind of comes out talking about, oh, it's really fun. It probably doesn't matter in the end. And I think the bare minimum anybody should do in this position, and I feel like even my position, we get on here and we talk about various teams and players and programs and coaches, is be somewhat knowledgeable about what you're talking about and what you're doing and, the content that you're making for people to consume. I sit here, I watch the entire slate of games all day from noon to 11 p.m. if I can. I go to sleep early. I sleep like an old man, but I try to watch every game I can. And it's easy for me to do because I love college football. I've always loved college football. I always loved football in general. And I think that's the minimum that you should do, right? And I think that's the minimum. You should never do something and say, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter in the end. Like, everything matters, man. Like, the effort that these coaches are putting into game planning, into recruiting, the time they're missing away from their family members, their kids, their wives. I was a coach's son. Like, it's bad, bro. Everything matters, man. These kids getting up, going to practice, having days that start at 5 a.m. and end at 7 p.m. on the daily basis. That all matters, man. I think you undermine college football. I think you undermine collegiate athletics when you sit here as a member of media covering a sport, covering a specific program. I think it's unfortunate, too, that she's on the beat at USC. I will say that. I think that's unfortunate that she's connecting this story.
I don't know how that happened.
And she's one of our beat writers. I think that's a little unfortunate. But not going to hate on her too much. But I'm just saying it's like there's an importance to this, man. And we've seen people come out this week that are older people that, you know, were AP voters back in the day, and they had to go through the mud and work hard and, you know, and put in time and work to get the privilege to be an AP voter, to get the privilege to be a Heisman voter, or, you know, get a job as a writer or a beat writer for a particular program and whatnot. So that's really all I really got to say, right? I just think it's a bad look. And like, I don't care if you're working at McDonald's, if you're sweeping hair out in a barbershop or whatever, like, bro, what you're doing, like, you should put effort into it. You know what I'm saying? Like the bare minimum. And that's it.
Yeah. No, I completely understand. I'm still struggling with the fact that some random writer out there decided to bet to vote against Derek Jeter so he wasn't a unanimous first ballot, you know, Hall of Famer. I mean, I still struggle with that at nighttime. But, you know, you're right. This does take out of respect for the fans and a respect for, you know, people on this watching this show. All these guys, we do put a little effort into it. I was talking to Preston last night. I'm watching, you know, Indiana State versus Indiana, and I mean, come on.
Shouts out Larry Bird, bro. How do you think Larry Bird was doing last night watching that?
You know, because I really want to know, when people ask me a question about Indiana, I want to make sure that I have the team scouted and that I know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to that. And then from there, it piques my interest. I start looking at players and their recruiting. It's a whole process, man. I put a lot of work into this every week, man. I study nonstop when it comes to incoming recruits, basketball, football, baseball, everything. So for people just to kind of throw things out like that, I always wonder, first of all, how the heck did they get that job, and how come I can't have that job? And then the second one is, it's like, it's a form of it's a lack of respect, to be honest with you, man. When they're just tossing names, it kind of reminds me of those office like pools, the ones I never win, where you know, Susie whatever, and you know, secretary at the office wins because she likes their helmets, you know, and she ends up winning the whole $1,000 pool. That's kind of what this thing reminds me of right here.
Yeah. You know, we can move on from it, but it's like,
come on, like, it felt good to get that out, though.
We gotta be better. But moving on, man. Syracuse.
Oh, I love this.
Fran Brown, coach at Syracuse, makes his team run. You know, I think they were running hundreds after they beat UConn in overtime. This is last week, and I love it, man. People have, you know, various, you know, opinions on it. They say, oh, maybe this is stuff you should do behind closed doors and whatnot. But this is a guy that wants to set a standard for his program. Yeah. And the key is, right, we've seen it in the last few years at USC. Just because you're winning does not mean you're getting better. You can most certainly be winning games and getting worse as an individual, as a team, and even as a coach, right? Just because you win doesn't mean you're hitting your own individual you know, peak or your own individual potential as a player, as a team, as a coach. And this is strictly about setting a standard, man. The man has high expectations. He knows the work that he's putting into the team. He's got his own son on the team. And he's got, you know, all the marbles in on this gig at Syracuse, man, trying to get them back to being, you know, a respected program in college football, man. So I love it. This gives me old school football vibes. Reminds me of my coach, Joe Myra, where we would start practice, we'd go out there jogging, and then out of nowhere, he would just be cursing everybody out, and we got to start everything over again, man. Just because he didn't like the way we were walking, he didn't like the body language, and I think I have no issue with this, man. This is old ball school, old ball coach type of tactics here, and I thought it was great.
You know what? We never got to Anthony James' comment, man, for the super chat. He said it's game. We did. We got that. He said it's game day, fellas. 2020 breakout for Steve. We got that. Oh,
unless he sent two. I think he said
okay.
One.
Yeah, game for Stevens. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Did we get that? I don't know. We got so much coming at us, man. Want to make sure we don't leave any. There's no man left behind, Preston.
Absolutely not. Shouts out Anthony James. But yeah, man, how we feeling about this?
What about Stevens or about
Fran Brown?
Okay, first of all, man, I mean, I know this reminds me of, this is what coaching needs to be like. I'm an old school guy. I firmly believe in really pushing these guys to limits that they don't realize that they can attain, man. And I know it all starts from even the youth programs. You know, a lot of these kids aren't even allowed to practice a certain way. There's so many rules and this and that. So to see these guys doing, you know, the running after, really, it was a great story to read about, man. I love it. And it seems like the players are enjoying being tested as well. And it's going to show at the end of the year. Trust me, Syracuse is one of those guys. You get them at home. That's a tough place to play. And I had them winning that game on the road against Tennessee, and they kind of came up short there. But they're definitely this is going to make a big improvement at the end of the year for this team, and I'm really happy. I want to see more of this. The ACC is one of those conferences everybody doubted, and now you're looking at them top to bottom. They're playing really well right now.
Yeah, the ACC is going to be interesting, man. We're going to see a great matchup later on today with the South Florida and Miami.
Oh, ooh.
Gosh, man, I'm torn on two big games this week. I am torn, man.
Yeah.
I'm torn on two games this week. It's going to be hard to make a decision.
Yeah.
But Clemson, you know, let's see what Clemson is able to do. We saw them look very shaky last week.
South Florida, Miami. I want to know,
yeah,
is Kalen DeBoer is his wife currently packing the U-Haul truck right now? Because if they lose to Wisconsin, boy, that guy better get out of town fast.
Nah, bro.
I'm telling you, but we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way Bama loses to Wisconsin. But we're gonna have to wait and see on that.
Yeah, we'll see what's up.
Colorado, man.
Wow, what's going on here?
Colorado, what's going on in Colorado? Colorado loses last night to Houston, 36-20 on the road. I got Staub, man. Ryan Staub. He had some good moments, man. I was kind of live tweeting. He was kind of, you know, the offense at a certain point in the second quarter looked to be picked up a little bit. They were moving around, making some things work, but didn't really have that great of a performance last night. Obviously, Houston is not University of Delaware as well, where he came in and had success last week. But he goes 19 for 35, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Didn't really look great. You saw Caden Salter on the sideline, you know, kind of chuckling a little bit, kind of while he was going through it on the field. You saw Julian Lewis kind of looking a little bit lost out there with his helmet in his hand. And here's the thing about Staub. In my personal opinion, in their first season at Colorado, Shadur goes out with that back injury. He stepped in late in that season, played against Utah. He looked really good against Utah. Like, I was like, oh, this kid is like a pretty good football player. Like, he did a good job. Obviously, they didn't have the offensive line or the defense in that first year, but looked pretty serviceable. I know he's a Cali kid and looked like he could be a solid college quarterback. But what does Caden Salter and Julian Lewis, how are they feeling right now, right? Caden Salter decides to come to Colorado from Liberty, probably had other choices, other opportunities to go elsewhere. He steps in, you know, I think probably thinking that if there's anybody he's going to have to compete with for that starting spot, it's going to be Julian Lewis. I'm sure they gave him some type of monetary, you know, a treat, you know, NIL probably gave him a nice little bag. And, you know, he comes out in the first game, offense stalls. Shouts out to Guy Smith.
Hey, Guy. Hey, thank you, Guy. Fight on, man. Wow.
Appreciate you.
That's great. Thank you. That means a lot.
Yes, thank you so much. Thanks for loving the content. Shouts out USC gang in the chat as well. But Caden Salter steps up. He's like, you know, damn, bro, like, you didn't really give me opportunity. A couple games. And then who is this Ryan Staub kid out of nowhere? You probably even know this kid was on the roster. Ryan Staub comes in. The offense looks electric. Well, Juju's like, damn, bro, if anybody, you're going to put anybody in the game, you're going to put Staub in the game, not me. It's probably like, damn, I should have gone to SC, bro.
No, honestly, no, there was too many character issues there. Red flags, man.
Lincoln, you know, he's thinking about Lincoln. He's thinking about the Heismans, the NFL dreams. And I think it's interesting for Deion because Deion has never truly had to make a quarterback decision. No. Because Paulie, you realize he's always had his quarterback in Shador.
Yeah, in Shador, yeah, that's it.
Never even a thought in his mind, like, oh man, like I gotta make sure we got a backup for Shador. How you feel about this stuff?
So you go and you hire. The reason he wanted to prepare for this is that's why he went and got Pat Shurmur. Pat Shurmur to me sucked in the NFL. He really, I mean, he was okay, but he was no, you know, I mean, Shanahan or something like that. I mean, the guy was a decent offensive coordinator. So he brings in Shurmur, thinking Shurmur can handle it. You get a guy like Salter. Salter's the sports management major, former Tennessee Volunteer, ends up transferring to Liberty to get some more playing time, ends up taking them to a Fiesta Bowl. And then on top of that, he had a great year last year, ran for like 100 yards like 5 times last year, really kind of somewhat dominated the college landscape. And he had Liberty on people's mind as far as like, wow, could this team possibly upset one of the big boys? So then for him to come to Colorado and struggle the way he did, I got to tell you, man, there's a lot of people confused out there right now. And Staub, that's how Staub is. I was trying, and we're talking about studying and putting research time in. I was actually caught myself trying to find out if he was related to the old Montreal Expos left-handed batter from the 80s, Rusty Staub, but he's not related. But he just stuck around for just some he figured his hard work and attention to detail was going to pay off for him, and it really did. But he got that opportunity, and I don't know how Houston just made him look so average the way he did. And as far as Juju goes, I mean, I knew this when he was being recruited. There's a lot of selfish kind of like, from what I've read, a lot of character issues when it comes to Juju. And it's really about him and his product and his brand. And he felt Colorado was going to be that next fit. But now he finds himself at the bottom of the pile there. So eventually I think they're going to go back to Salter. Salter's probably their most secure choice there. And then I wouldn't be surprised if Juju ends up transferring out. But who knows? We'll see. They'll probably give him a chance here soon. You think? I have no idea, but I think they're going to go back to Salter.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, like week 1 of the season, damn, I can't think of the team they played in week 1.
Yeah.
Can't think of the team off the top of my head. I can't remember who they played in week 1. I did watch that game though.
Yeah.
But I thought they looked like a better team in week 1. So I was like, okay, like Colorado.
Oh, they played Georgia Tech, didn't they?
Exactly. Played Georgia Tech, lost against Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
The defense was flying all over the place, had 3 interceptions.
Yeah, they look good.
They look pretty good, particularly on defense. But the offense looked The offense didn't look that great. But I figured they would, stick with Salter. But yesterday against Houston, and really kind of against Delaware as well earlier in that game, they looked terrible.
Oh,
like Colorado awful. Year 1, 4-8 Colorado. So I wouldn't be surprised if Deion's like, okay, Juju, come on in here.
Your turn.
He promised TC and Juju that he was probably going to be a starter and, appease them by bringing 2 quarterbacks to media day. I thought that was a joke. But who knows? I would not be surprised if he doesn't get that opportunity in the next 3 weeks that come season's end, he's going to be out of there, bro. Because I don't really know what Colorado has, man. I like they got a young Deanna McPherson who is an IMG.
A linebacker, right?
He's like, I think he's an edge. I think he's an edge.
Okay. Yeah. He's a really top prospect. He was a big prospect coming in. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, IMG kid. Like he's good. Obviously Jordan Seaton, big left tackle.
Yeah.
Does he stay around?
Yeah.
Like you could kind of exist as a left tackle if you're on a bad team.
Who's the guy that bolted SC? Who's the guy that bolted SC? I can't remember. Offensive lineman. He went Lovelace. Was it Lovelace? I can't remember.
And then they had a kid. Do you remember the kid that was committed to SC?
Yes, that's the one.
The black kid. I don't know if he was committed or he was, Cardi Smith.
Cardi Smith. He gave his verbal, and then he just when Juju left, him and Juju kind of planned behind the scenes, and they left together.
Yeah, tandem deal. So that's why it's like, bro, a lot of y'all young boys, like, don't.
Grass isn't always greener, folks. Yeah,
like you gotta make your own decision. If that's the decision he made to go to Colorado, that's cool. And it's early in the season. We're only 3 weeks in, so I'm not saying hit the panic button, but I'm just saying, bro, you gotta make a best decision. Like people always say, like my dad said to me, always people say, yo, this is the most important decision of your life. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth, man. You want to make a good decision about where you go to school. But it'll be interesting how this unfolds, man. But yeah, Juju's got to be thinking about my guy Link for sure, right about now. Yeah,
hey, who knows, man? Juju, man. I just hope he doesn't have one of those Malachi Nelson type of careers, man, where he's bouncing around everywhere. Next, Juju's at like Sacramento State or something. For all we know, who knows?
That's what I'm saying. All right, so let's talk. Top 3 teams right now.
This was so hard for me, man. I hate these teams.
Well, that's all good, man. This is
let's go.
Personal opinion. Man.
You got it, man.
How I'm feeling right now is I think I can't put any team ahead of Ohio State. Just sound, balance. They're deep. They're undefeated as a team, obviously. and they really know how to just dictate the play of their opponent, right? They're going to dictate. You saw them just completely stifle that Texas offense in week 1, and they just control the pace of the game, bro. I think you know they're gonna run. I don't know who they're gonna run into. It might be that team. It might be that team in that state right next to them. I mean, Michigan might knock them off. They're definitely gonna be tested as the year goes on. But they got all the pieces, man. I just love the balance and the coaching, in particular, on their roster. LSU, I think they got one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country right now, and Nussberger. I think he's a really good quarterback. I think he proved a lot in that first game on the road in Clemson. A lot of talent on both sides of the ball. Great running back, great offensive line, good linebackers, and like all these teams in the SEC and the Big Ten, they're going to have to prove themselves, right? They're going to have a matchup against South Carolina. I think they play Bama. I think they play Georgia. So we're going to really see how good they are. But right now, I'm feeling very good about LSU. And Miami, this could change based on what happens today. I love the defensive line, man. I love their edges and Messidor and Bain.
They're good.
The receivers are – I'm not too high on the receivers. Like I know a lot of people are super high on Malachi Tony and the kid that came from LSU, Ray Armstrong, some of these guys. But I think the addition of Carson Beck, bro, is special for this team. Like a guy that's been, to the heights of college football. I think he makes them a lot better. And Heatherman, the DC coming over from Minnesota as well. I think I kind of expected that defense to fold in that Notre Dame game. And, I've seen it happen in years, but back-to-back years. And they were able to finish that one out. So I think that's credit to him. And I think the defense is a lot better this season. So we'll see what happens against South Florida today. But I got Miami as my number 3 team right now.
Yeah, so Ohio State is really like Miami, by the way. They're really coming along and putting Crystal Ball is he's doing it the right way, and he's really putting together a program there. So let's look at my picks. Obviously, Ohio State's the cream of the crop right now. They're playing well. We'll see how things get when they hit the meat of the schedule there in Big Ten play. Like I said, they're gonna have some battles. I've yet to see what big team got. Like last year was Indiana that kind of caught us by surprise. So we'll see who the next team is. Maybe it's USC that kind of jumps in there and takes over that Big Ten. But Penn State to me and LSU. Penn State, you could flip flop them both. Gary Nussmeier to me when it comes to LSU, he's definitely a good quarterback. But getting back to Penn State, I just don't ever have. I've been burned way too many times by this team, and people say, "Well, this is a year. This is a year." Unless I see them really, really blowing people out instead of like being in a little tight little battle at halftime with a nobody, then I'm not going to believe in them when it comes time to handle it. One thing I think they've been lacking over the years is they definitely have the talent. They just don't have that nasty side to them to put teams away. Hence the reason why they always lose to Michigan and to Ohio State, because they get beat up in those games. And then you look at LSU, they're definitely beatable to me. I just have them up there because they're playing good football right now, but they are beatable. They definitely are. Nussmeier tends to make a lot of mistakes, throwing picks and doing, but he's improved a lot. Obviously, Kelly's a great coach, but we'll see where that team's at the end of the year. But they're definitely not going to be top 3.
Yes, sir, man. Only time will tell. So exactly. Let's look at some sneaky, CFP teams, man. Some teams I could kind of sneak in there, right? And
Oh, I love the Iowa State. Right? I love the Iowa State pick.
Yeah, because this is what I'm gonna say. I guess I'll start with Tennessee. Because the thing with me with college football, if I lose bets or lose picks against different teams, I've lost 2 picks to Iowa State now. in week 1, I lost a pick, and I lost a pick last week with the Iowa game. So Tennessee, I lost a pick in that Syracuse at the beginning of the season. I lost to Tennessee. And I sat there and I watched that game and I saw that Tennessee offense, man. Yeah. And Aguilar looks nice at quarterback, man. I really like him. 5 touchdowns, 0 picks, 535 yards, first 2 games. Like the wide receivers in Brazil and Matthews. They got pretty solid defense, but Heupel, knows what he's doing on the offensive side of the ball. And I got them doing a good job today against Georgia. And we're going to get to the picks, but I like Tennessee today going into this game against Georgia. And they got a high-powered offense, man. I really like what I see from them. And this is SEC team. They're going to go through the grinder. But that is definitely one of my sneaky contenders. South Carolina, man. The game I'm second most excited about to watch today is this South Carolina Vanderbilt game.
Oh, that's exciting. I can't wait.
And I think there's gonna be magic on both sides of the ball. We got two good quarterbacks, man. I think South Carolina is a real deal. I think everybody knows my love for Lenore Sellers. I think he's
you love him,
top
man.
of the Heisman board right now.
Yeah.
Would like to see him do a little bit more through the air. The offensive line scares me a little bit with South Carolina. It's probably my biggest concern with them. They got to run the ball more. They got. I think their leading running back has 80 yards in the season, so they definitely have been struggling in that aspect as a team. And definitely on the defense side of the ball, you got Dylan Stewart, wreaking havoc as an edge. Got 2 sacks in the season, so I like that. The USC Trojans, man, got a long season to go. Right, it's a week by week. We're taking it week by week. I picked USC to sneak into the college football playoff. I think I had them in like the number 10 or 11 seed. Want to take on a week-to-week basis, but I think we have all the talent in the world. I think by the end of the year, ravaging 66 points a game, I expect USC to score 40-plus in today's game against Purdue. I think this offense that we're seeing this season is been more aligned to something that we saw Lincoln Riley do at Oklahoma, more high-powered, definitely a lot better, more fluid than we saw last season. And I think it's special, man. And I think the defense is going to be good. I'm not saying they're going to be great or all world, but a great offense, great Lincoln Riley offense with a good defense at USC is something that we've never seen before. And I think that's why the season is going to go so well for us as Trojan fans, us as USC fans. And I think SC could definitely sneak into the CFP. And Iowa State, man, like I said before,
Rocco.
Yeah, Rocco's been killing me. I've lost 2 picks to Rocco. He makes plays. All the guys on the team, they just make plays when they need to be made, bro. Like they're stout defensively.
Yeah.
They got some big time players in the secondary that are picking off passes and making plays on the ball. I like the coach as well.
Yeah.
Coach is locked in. He's kind of been building that up. They've had back-to-back pretty good seasons. And the thing about Iowa State, their record, their schedule, they played their 2 toughest games of the season. Their schedule is a complete is cotton, bro. It's soft, bro. They're not playing nobody the rest of the year. So that's why I really think they could easily sneak in here and be the Big 12 representative as the playoffs get underway, because they have a pretty easy road the rest of the way. So yeah, I ended with Iowa State there.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. So anyway, let's get over to the rambling wreck of Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, man, let me tell you why. They've been playing teams really hard. It's another thing they're going to throw that. They threw that little wrench in the ACC, and Georgia Tech has always been a program that they've had their ups and downs. Remember, they had Bobby Hamilton at quarterback one year. They did really, really well. That's going a little way back, but I look at Georgia Tech and I love the consistency that they're playing with, and they bring their lunch pail to the game, and they're playing tough-nosed football. And you know what? We'll see how it turns out for them this week. But Utah's another one. They're always consistent. I know they handled us. I couldn't complain about some of those losses that we had against Utah, man. They were just tougher than us at times. And that's one thing about those teams is they're tough, hard-nosed football. No matter how many players they lose, they remind me of like those New York Giants teams when Tom Coughlin was there. No matter how many players they would lose, they would just plug another one right in, and then they go right at it. And then you look at South Florida. This is the guy. I've been sticking with these guys all season long with my picks. I picked them to beat Boise. They handled Boise, and now they're going to handle Miami, man. I'm telling you, they're catching the world by storm. The Bulls of South Florida are really solid. They're technically at home because it's a Florida game, but when they play at home, they're really tough to beat. But we'll see, man. We'll see if they can handle playing against Miami there. And then also Oklahoma. It's a team that I would laugh at earlier in the year. But when I got to see them play against Michigan, I saw a really talented football team. a well-balanced football team, not just Mateer. Oh, Mateer. It's the whole entire team. They look like they are playing with a chip on their shoulder and they want to prove something in the SEC. So they really caught my eye and caught my attention. But then there's Vanderbilt. I love those teams of destiny. I love those teams that have that one player that can just elevate people to that next level. And I can go on and on about Mr. Diego Pavia, the pride of New Mexico, folks. Let me tell you, this guy is so special. He's like Doug Flutie-esque. When it comes to thinking he's almost fallen, he just like somehow balances and keeps running. He holds the ball to the last second and get that ball out and get it to the player when it counts. And he takes these 2-star guys and makes them into really to winners. And that's a team right there that I really think can make some noise in the SEC this year.
Yeah. Yeah, man. There's a lot of great storylines in this stuff.
Yeah, some great storylines.
Yeah.
Any of these teams can win. Tennessee can win. I mean, they're all capable of winning. They really are.
I learned a lot, to be honest, that Oklahoma-Michigan game, that was a game that was going on at the same time as the SC game last week. But I watched the telling of that game. I learned a lot about Michigan in that game, man.
Yeah,
Michigan they don't look as good defensively. Defensive front as I thought they looked coming to this year, and the offensive line isn't what it's supposed to be, what I thought it would look like on that side of the ball as well. I love to see the fire in Bryce Underwood, though. He was kind of getting after Haynes, running back and stuff like that. Like that's a good trait to have as a quarterback. I like to see that.
Yeah.
But these are all in the mix, man. I got SC in there. USF, I would have put them on my side, but you put them on your side. I could agree with that. And
hey, shout out to Aldo out there, man. Thank you, Aldo.
Yes, sir. Shouts out to Aldo, man. Thank you. Games, as I say, man, people talk crap. Games have to be played, so games will be played, and these teams and the segments on this show will all switch up. But before we get to the picks for this week, man. Last segment of the show, we're going to talk about our beloved Jacoby Lane, one of the greatest wide receivers in the land. Now put together a Jacoby Lane catch tier list here, man. And I put this together. Paulie, you can tell me what you would correct if you have any catches I did not list on here. But I'm going to kind of go through them right here. Starting off with the nice catches, which I should have honestly named this section filthy instead of nice, but I kept it. I named it. But started off over the shoulder, that fade against LSU over the shoulder where he threw up the west side. Just iconic, one of the dopest moments like in recent USC history. Obviously, USC goes out to win that game against LSU in Vegas. Then we had, the back of the end zone toe touch. Moss over a Wisconsin defender, just using his size, using his length, catching that one. I thought that was really nice. I enjoyed that one as well. Then we had baby Jacoby in the Holiday Bowl over 2 Louisville defenders going up and Moss and both of them at the same time. Similar catch to that Wisconsin catch, going up, snagging it.
Look how much higher he is than those guys,
bro. A dog, man, a dog. Unbelievable catch. B Jink in the chat, you know what I'm saying?
B Jink
in college football. Exactly. 4X gloves, B Jink. Just a dog. The elite section, that catch against Notre Dame, where he basically catches it one-handed, reaches over and gets a touchdown on that. Also really liked the catch at the end of the season against UCLA in the rain. Where, that was a rough offensive game for USC. I think there was 19 points scored in that game, if I'm not mistaken. It's rainy, and Jaden's running around. Everybody's like, run the ball. Lincoln opts to pass the ball. We pass. Jaden comes up, snaps back, scrambling all over the place, throws it back in the end zone. Jacoby snags it with those 4X gloves, catches it, does dance after. Big time catch against UCLA. And then this was just crazy, brother. Catch against Wisconsin on the sideline, 1 foot in, like just elite, body control, able to catch that pass on the sideline like that. Then to start off the insane tier, we have, and it's unfortunate because I couldn't get a great picture of this catch, but the one-hander from Miller Moss with the 2 defenders draped over him as he catches it as he falls into the end zone. To this day, I don't even understand how he caught that ball. That was a crazy, crazy ball that he caught. Another crazy pass against Wisconsin. That was probably like the game we really saw him break out last season. I got the one-hander against Georgia Southern in the number 3 spot here. Thought it was a nice catch, but he just makes it look so easy at times, bro. He just made that one look easy and kind of just, dealt with the contact, goes up in one glove, snags it. And, that was Sports Center top 10 last weekend. This Michigan catch, bro. I was at this game. I was on the other side of the field. And this is one of my favorite catches he's ever made because he jumps up, attacks the ball in between 2 defenders, bro. And it was just a big time catch. Showed his athleticism and his verticality to get up there and snag that. He had to attack that ball to score that touchdown at a very crucial point in that game. He scores a touchdown. I think USC is going to win the game. Everybody's going crazy. I had Michigan fans in silence around me. Unfortunately, we were not able to finish that one off. And then number 1, bro, it's the Maryland one-hander, bro, falling to the ground, doing the pirouette 360. Getting up, doing his thing with the dance. And I think that was definitely the best catch I've seen him make in that Maryland game last year, man. So
I agree with all of them. I agree. I love them all, man. I love them all. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
They're all great.
They all are great.
The one last week, I don't know why that one just stuck with me because I know it's just simple. Hey, look at what he, obviously he's done that a million times, but it was the physicality that he had with that player before that. He basically kind of was just ragdolling him around, man. And then just to be able to go up with those Randy Moss hands that he has. And I've always said that when people say, oh, you keep comparing him to Randy. I'm not saying he's the same athlete as Randy when it comes to speed or whatever, but when it comes to end zone and when it comes to leaping and when it comes to those soft hands, he's Jacoby's very special. He really is. He's probably one of the most special wide receivers I've seen come through this university, and I can't begin to tell you how many years, man. I mean, it's just like we've seen them all, and this guy just has things, and he does things that I've never seen before. So I'm really, really high on him. But yeah, that's one that got me. That simple one-handed grab, just because in the NFL, I mean, he just showed the scouts right there that he can battle with that DB and still kind of toss him. He's strong enough to toss him aside and go up and grab that thing without hesitation, man. So that was a special catch right there.
Exactly. And he has kind of a dynamic build where you see he has some muscle on him, but just like you said before, like people don't really understand the type of strength that he has with that 6'4" frame, bro. And
he's a lot stronger than what people think, man.
Yeah, big time athlete. So, man, here we go. About to get
let's go. Let's go. 1 and 5, folks.
That's a Jacoby cash tier list. And here's how we looking right now. Last week, I went 3-3. Yeah, I went 3-3 last week. My guy Paulie went 1 and 5 last week.
And there's a reason why. Let me tell you. None of the games that I always go for the upsets, man, especially going week 1 to week 3. You never know who's going to win in college football. It's a toss up and it's that. So if I go 1 and 5 again, then you know what, man, I'm having a bad year, but this is, I keep pretty close. SMU almost pulled. I thought I actually changed the game because I thought they're going to win that game. They're blowing them out.
I was sweating watching that game. I was running White Claws. I was sweating watching that game. Also, I was sweating. We were texting. That Duke game was looking very spooky for Illinois, and I was pissed off watching that game in the first quarter. I'm like, bro, I'm about to lose this bet to Paulie, bro. Like Illinois is gonna lose this game in Durham, North Carolina.
Like, and then Arizona State goes and blows it for me too, man. And then
I lost Arizona. Yeah, that was one of my losses. Arizona State.
Michigan goes and blows it for me, man. I'm like, oh, come on.
I saw the Oklahoma thing going, but that Mississippi State shit was terrible, bro.
I've never really been good with the picks, to be honest with you, because I just have a tendency to always pick the one people, I always do the opposite. Yeah. Like when everybody was watching Game of Thrones, you got to watch it. I said, no, I don't want to watch it, and then I always have to do the opposite. So
I go with your heart. I go with my heart, but I go with my brain and my heart a little bit. But hey, I say we know the stakes here, bro. I'm playing to win.
Okay, all right.
I picked to win. I always pick to win. We play to win.
Win the game.
Exactly.
All right, let's go. Let's see what we got
to win the game.
All right, here we go.
Here are the games this week, man.
Okay.
Clemson, Georgia Tech. Clemson has kind of been up and down. shady. Also, I don't know. I'm gonna give y'all facts here. I'm gonna give my boy Paulie facts. Dude, Haynes King was out last week, injured. I hear he's popping back out this week. I got Clemson in this one.
Clemson at Georgia Tech.
I think it's at Georgia Tech. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is. It is at Georgia Tech, I believe. Yeah. So, you know what? They were one of my sneaky teams. I'd look stupid if I didn't pick them. So, because I have to stay loyal to Georgia Tech, especially at home, I'll take the Rambling Wreck. Even though we got a good. I mean, the obvious decision would be let's go Clemson by 3, maybe. But they've just been so inconsistent. Maybe this is the week that Clemson decides to go off, but I'll just stick with. I'll take the. I don't care. I'm going Georgia Tech.
All right, going Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Georgia, Tennessee, man. This is gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
Georgia has not looked good. They scored 28 points against Austin Peay last week. I'm high on Tennessee. I'm high on Aguilar. I'm high on his offense and Heupel, things he's got going on. The game is also in Knoxville. I got Tennessee over Georgia today.
Yeah, I also have Tennessee winning as well. I wanted to see what they were made of, and now you're kind of seeing what that team's going to be all about. Heupel really has that offense dialed up, and I mean, it's crazy. I look at Josh Heupel. That guy was just slim and trim, knocking the ball around for Oklahoma. Now he's fatter than me, man. But then you look at, I'm definitely going Tennessee.
Bro, no, this is a tough one, bro. And I'm thinking, I'm like, okay.
Oh, Don, come on, you got it.
Corey Heatherman is there. Do I go? Does Mario fail again? Miami always has 2 losses every year that they shouldn't have. Does Miami win this game against a USF team that has beat 2 ranked teams this season?
Yeah, they're definitely.
Secondary looks a little suspect.
How about you pick? How about you pick Miami and I'll pick South Florida?
No, I'm leaning. I am picking Miami. I am picking Miami. I don't feel great about it. It's like I felt like how I did picking Illinois last week.
Yeah,
like, I felt like Duke was gonna try them in that game.
No, but Duke
Illinois is a better team.
Tools. If Duke would have had a couple,
they would have caught passes. They would have won the game.
Yeah, no doubt.
The receivers failed the quarterback, bro. It was terrible. I got Miami in this game though against the USF.
Yeah, and I'm going with South Florida just because it's going to be a close game. I don't think anyone's getting blown out. Yeah. But this will test. Even if I'm wrong, at least we'll get a better understanding of what Miami's about.
And Miami struggles with mobile quarterbacks too.
Yeah,
that is a fun fact. SC Purdue.
Oh, come on.
We got SC. I got SC.
Yeah.
And I think on my prediction video, I might have said 41. And then online, I said 44. I'm going to go 44-17 SC at Purdue. I got 44-17 USC.
I think SC has the potential. I think they'll put a 50 spot on them somewhere. Ooh. So I'm definitely going SC. I think the offense is going to explode on the road against this team. They're prime for what we do. Their defense is set up for us to just take advantage of them, man. And they're not really good at stopping the run. They're secondary suspect. So we need to take advantage of this and really make stamp our name out there. Say, hey, we're coming, man. We're here to win the game, damn it.
Statement game on CBS, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, in front of the entire country, bro.
West Coast is here.
Statement game.
Yeah.
South Carolina versus Vanderbilt. I got South Carolina. I got Lenore Sellers. I think we're gonna see a lot of Heisman moments. Can't wait for the game at 7:30 Eastern. I think it's gonna be a good game, though. I think it's gonna be a very good game. Hopefully his offensive line doesn't do him dirty, but I got South Carolina against Vanderbilt today.
Yeah, and obviously I'm sticking with Mr. Pavia and Vanderbilt. I think they're a team of destiny. Whether they win or lose, it's going to be a really, really good game, and it'll go down to the wire.
Yeah, Vandy also has a really nice offensive line, and they got a lot of pieces around Pavia, bro. So I think that it's not going to be a bad game at all. I think it'll be a very good watch. Minnesota, Cal. I know people are pretty high on this freshman quarterback at Cal. I haven't watched them play an entire game all year. I've been hearing good things. I've seen some highlights, but I really like the energy around Minnesota right now, bro. I have watched them play, and I think they're just moving and grooving. I like the young quarterback that they have in there, the weapons they have on the defensive side of the ball. They have the safety that is he was all Big Ten last season. I forgot bro's name right now, but I got Minnesota winning this game against Cal.
Okay, so I am going with Cal. I got Cal Berkeley winning this thing, and the reason why is I like, you got former 85 Bear alum. You have hold on. Oh yeah, you have 85 alum, Mr. Ron Rivera as their general manager now, making some changes. He's a main reason. He's a big reason why that quarterback decided to stay. And I have a hard time pronouncing the name. I don't want to butcher it, but he's a beautiful left-handed quarterback, man. He can throw the ball. I mean, he just has a rifle of an arm, and they're believing there. And I grew up watching a lot of this team. I grew up part of my life in Southern California and Northern California, and let me tell you, I got to watch a lot of Cal Berkeley Bears, and I was just talking to Preston about it. We always got a soft spot for Stanford and Cal, man. I wish they were still around and we could play them every year, but I'm definitely going Cal Berkeley. I think it's hard for teams to travel to make that trek out there, and the fan, the way the stadium's constructed, it's a really tough place to play. And on top of that, you can have an earthquake at any time. So it's and then the smell of weed, man, it's overpowering that whole entire stadium. It's gonna affect these players, man. So look for Cal to win.
Yeah, all right, man. It's gonna be a good week, bro.
Yeah.
We deferred a lot of these picks, man. It's gonna be a fun day.
I'm gonna be like 1 and whatever next week. What?
It can easily go wrong for me.
It don't matter because I'm bringing out the big guns now with these last two.
Exactly. So Florida, LSU. I think Billy's on his way out, bro. There's no reason. If you watched that game last week, there's no reason that Florida didn't win that game, bro. Just undisciplined ball, stupid mistakes. And Billy's got to be stressing right now. His seat is very hot, bro. I got LSU winning this game. I think they take care of business, man.
So they got a winning streak against LSU, and Billy's job is on the line. I think the players like him. And on top of that, they had 7 sacks against Nussmeier last year. And I have Florida winning that game. They don't fear LSU. They can handle them. They can beat them.
Okay,
they've done it. Yeah, like I said, they sacked them 7+ times last year.
Yeah,
they handled them.
Yeah, so hey, that's gonna be a fun one. Notre Dame, Texas A&M. This is like another hard one for me, bro, because like
A&M won last year, correct? Yeah, but in Texas, right?
No. A&M did A&M win? I don't think A&M won last year.
I think did A&M play them last year? I don't know.
They did play them in Texas A&M, but they lost. Notre Dame won that game, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. Let's check that out.
Yeah, check it out. I'm pretty sure Notre Dame won that game last year.
It could be.
It's in Notre Dame this year, though, not at Texas A&M. But and to be honest, bro, like I kind of want to root for Notre Dame because I hate to say that, but I kind of want to root for Notre Dame just because we have to play Notre Dame. And one of my picks later in the season when I did my season picks of USC and stuff like that, I said that we would fall in South Bend and Notre Dame.
Yeah, it was 23-13 last year.
Texas A&M?
No, Notre Dame.
Okay, yeah. That's what. Okay, so Notre Dame beat that. Bro, to be honest, I like Marcel Reed. Marcel Reed has 7 touchdowns, 0 picks. He's a nightmare on the ground. Like they got crazy weapons on the offensive side of the ball. I think Texas A&M upsets Notre Dame in South Bend.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's perfect because I'm going with Notre Dame to bounce back and play well at home. Look for Love to have a decent game this week. So we'll see. And obviously they're not after the way they played, against Miami and all that, and they were kind of humiliated there. They want him to go ahead and have a really, really big bounce back against a quality team.
Yes, sir. So it should be a good one, man.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Yeah, that is it for this week.
All right, guys.
We're going to get after that, man. I hope everybody's fired up for our Trojans to get out there on the road. Just a few hours, man. Get this win against Purdue. Super excited, bro. About to start chefing up some food, doing some stuff around here, bro. But Paulie, man, it's great doing the show with you, man. And,
always with you too, Preston. I love it, man. We got each other cracking up over here, and and I just did you see Raul? Damn Smokies because of our picks. But you know what, man? Look at I go for it when I'm making these picks. I'm picking Florida to take LSU out. Because you know what? When I'm right, oh boy, I look like a genius. And when I'm wrong, oh my God.
I got good picks. I don't know what was talking about, man. My picks are good. I'm about to go. What we got 8 games. I'm about to go 8-0 this week.
Hey, I told you about Rocco, bro, and then I'm glad you finally saw the light on Rocco.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, bro. If I keep losing, bro, I'm gonna come to your side. That's it, man. Hey, man, appreciate all you guys watching.
Yeah, thank you so much,
bro. If you're in the stream, we multi-stream this, so like the stream, subscribe to the channel, either if it's Preston's Paradise, if it's Calling All the Shots. Calling the Shots podcast with Paulie Walnuts on his side. Support the channels, man. We put a lot of effort, a lot of research, into the segments on this show and whatnot. And man, excited for a great slate of college football, man. Appreciate you guys watching. We will be here next Saturday morning, as always. Next show, we also have a special guest coming through to kind of talk about the matchup against Michigan State. So that should be fun. We should have a fun show next week. And man. Anything else you got to say, Paulie?
Yeah, and then on top of that, so I'm going to work on a couple things here, but I'm going to try to get out a quick little 10-minute take on why Terrence Crawford is going to go ahead and dominate this fight tonight and win against Canelo. So there's it's a big fight, and finally we get back to a real proven guy taking over the helm is pound for pound the best in boxing, because Bud Crawford is a phenomenal fighter. He's ready to take this thing on, man. So definitely look out for that on Calling the Shots podcast with Paulie Walnuts on YouTube. Look out for it and show some love and hit that subscribe button, man. I'd greatly appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate everybody being here, man. Fight on and have a good day, guys.
All right, thanks a lot. Hey, Preston, hit me up after you're done here, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Talk to you guys later, man. Fight on, brothers. Fight on.